Imagine holding a simple 20 cents in your hand. Just another piece of pocket change, right? But what if I told you that the very coin you casually spent on a morning coffee could be worth a jaw-dropping $100,000 or more? Yes, you heard that right. Some Australian 20 cents hiding in plain sight are now among the most valuable coins in the world, fetching life-changing amounts at auction. First up, the most valuable. Australia 20 cents 1976, Elizabeth II, second portrait in color-changed rusty condition. When it comes to coins, certain factors make them stand out. Rarity, historical significance, design, and condition. The Australia 20 cents 1976, featuring the second portrait of Queen Elizabeth II in a color-changed rusty condition, checks all the boxes. This coin is a prime example of how a small anomaly can lead to an astronomical value increase. The 1976 20-cent coin was minted as part of Australia's regular coinage, but it's the unique color change and rusted appearance that has made this specific coin incredibly rare and valuable in today's auction market. This coin was produced to commemorate a significant year in Australia's history, with Queen Elizabeth II's second portrait being used on the obverse. This was the first time her portrait was updated since her reign began. In terms of design, the coin features Queen Elizabeth II in profile, a design created by the renowned artist Raphael Makhlouf. The reverse of the coin displays an iconic Australian design, an image of an Australian ram, symbolic of the country's pastoral heritage. However, the true value of this coin comes from its remarkable condition. Most coins of this era are found in relatively average circulated states, with some showing wear or discoloration due to time in circulation. The 1976 20 cent in question, however, has undergone a rare phenomenon, a color change, likely due to exposure to certain environmental factors. This particular coin's appearance is dominated by hues of rust, giving it a unique and visually striking appearance that is unlike any other coin from this series. The mintage of the 1976 20 cent coin was substantial, which initially meant that the coin was not seen as particularly rare or valuable. However, when one of these coins is found in an unusual condition like the rusty, color-changed version, the rarity and appeal for collectors increased dramatically. Over time, certain collectors began to notice this anomaly, and as more information spread through numismatic communities, the coin's market value surged. Today, this specific coin can fetch a staggering value of over $300,000 at auction, an amount that would have been unimaginable when it was first minted. The high price tag is largely due to the coin's unique appearance and its rarity in such a condition. Only a handful of these color-changed rusty versions have been found, making it an extremely rare find for collectors, especially those seeking rare Australian coins. Collectors are particularly drawn to this coin for several reasons. First, the rust-colored change is seen as an unusual and fascinating natural occurrence that enhances the coin's visual appeal. Second, the 1976 design with the second portrait of Queen Elizabeth II holds sentimental value to many as it marks a key moment in the history of the Australian monarchy. Lastly, the coin's scarcity in this condition makes it a highly coveted piece for any numismatist or collector with a particular interest in Australian coinage. The high demand for this coin has contributed to its value skyrocketing in recent years. With only a handful of examples believed to exist in this color-changed rusty condition, the coin remains one of the most highly sought-after pieces in the Australian numismatic market. What makes this coin even more interesting is the era that occurred during its production. The rusting and color change likely happened due to a combination of factors, including exposure to moisture, air, and possibly an industrial mishap. The result is a coin that deviates from the typical characteristics of a 1976 Australia 20 cent piece, making it both an error and a highly valuable collector's item. For collectors who are fortunate enough to own this coin, it's not just a rare find, but also a historical piece. Its potential for significant appreciation in value is evident, and as more collectors learn about its extraordinary features, the price is expected to continue to rise. Moving on to the second coin on our list, we have the Australia 20 cents 1967 featuring Queen Elizabeth II's second portrait, which has become one of the most valuable coins in circulated condition today. Unlike the 1976 version, this coin doesn't have the color-changed rust condition, but its historical significance, design features, and market value make it an exceptional piece in the world of Australian numismatics. The 1967 Australia 20-cent coin was part of a series of coins that were issued as part of the nation's regular coinage. The coin's obverse features the second portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, which had been introduced just a few years earlier, in 1966. This portrait was designed by the British sculptor Arnold Machin, who created a more mature and dignified image of the Queen compared to the earlier portrait. The reverse of the coin showcases the Australian coat of arms, which features an emu and a kangaroo supporting a shield. This design represents Australia's national identity, reflecting both its natural heritage and the strong presence of the nation on the world stage. While the 1967 20-cent coin was minted in large numbers, the value of this particular piece has steadily risen over the years, especially when found in higher grades or better condition. A coin that has survived for decades in circulated condition without significant damage is considered a rare find, and the 1967 coin fits this category. The high collector demand for this coin can be attributed to its place in Australian history, being one of the first coins to feature the second portrait of Queen Elizabeth II. The mintage of the 1967 coin was notably large, with millions of coins produced to meet the needs of Australia's growing population. However, despite its original abundance, the passage of time and the wear and tear that comes with circulation has made high-quality examples increasingly rare. Most of these coins were used in everyday transactions, leading to the gradual deterioration of their condition. As a result, finding a 1967 20-cent in circulated condition with minimal wear and a decent strike is a rare and sought-after discovery. Collectors value this coin not just for its historical context and design, but also for the rarity of finding it in good condition. While the 1967 20-cent coin may not be as scarce as some other Australian coins, the ones that have been well preserved are highly prized by collectors. The presence of the second portrait of Queen Elizabeth II makes it a significant coin in the context of Australian numismatics, as it marks a shift in the design of the country's currency. What's particularly interesting about this coin is that, like many coins of the era, it was subject to wear and damage during its time in circulation. It's not unusual to see these coins with visible signs of aging, such as scratches, dings, and discoloration, which only adds to their appeal for some collectors. A coin in excellent circulated condition can command a premium price, especially if it has been kept in a protective holder or has avoided excessive handling. The market value of the 1967 Australia 20-cent coin in circulated condition can range from several hundred to thousands of dollars, depending on its condition and any unique features it may possess. Some of the highest valued coins in the market today have been sold for over $40,000, especially when they exhibit distinct characteristics, such as higher-grade examples or those with rare minting errors. These coins are seen as excellent investments for collectors who want to own a piece of Australian history while also securing a valuable asset that is likely to appreciate over time. Despite its relatively high mintage, the 1967 coin has become a true gem in the world of numismatics, and collectors with an eye for valuable pieces often seek it out for its potential to appreciate in value. As demand for coins like this increases, the value continues to rise, making it a smart and lucrative investment for those looking to diversify their collection or secure a rare and high-value piece of Australian coinage. Next up, we will be discussing the New Zealand 20 cents 1982 Elizabeth II second portrait Kiwi coin in circulated condition. This coin, though appearing relatively simple at first glance, has become a prized possession in the world of coin collecting, especially among those with an eye for rare New Zealand coins. It is not just a piece of currency but a symbol of New Zealand's rich history and culture, intertwined with the legacy of the reigning monarch at the time, Queen Elizabeth II. The history of New Zealand's 20-cent coin begins with the country's transition from the British pound to the dollar in 1967, when the New Zealand government introduced decimal currency. This particular coin, minted in 1982, is part of a series featuring Queen Elizabeth II's second portrait. This portrait, created by renowned sculptor Arnold Machin, depicts the Queen in a more mature and regal pose compared to the previous effigy. The coin, therefore, carries significant historical weight, being a part of a series that represents an important era in New Zealand's monetary history. What makes this coin so desirable among collectors today is its rarity, coupled with its historical significance. It was minted in a relatively small quantity compared to other coins of the same series, which means that as time has passed, fewer of these coins remain in excellent condition. While many circulated examples have been lost or damaged, those that have survived, especially in good to uncirculated condition, command a premium price at auction. Now, let's talk about the market value. The New Zealand 20 cents 1982 Elizabeth II's second portrait Kiwi coin in circulated condition has witnessed an incredible rise in value over the years. As collectors' demand for New Zealand coins from this era continues to grow, the coin's value has reached upwards of $30,000 at auctions. The number of collectors seeking to complete their New Zealand coin collections, combined with the limited availability of the 1982 coin in good condition, makes this a highly sought-after piece. In the world of rare coins, it is a gem that stands out not only for its beauty, but also for its potential return on investment. The mintage of the New Zealand 20 cents 1982 coin was relatively high compared to other rarities in the same series, but that doesn't diminish its value. What truly sets this coin apart is the specific historical context surrounding its design. The coin was minted during a transitional period in New Zealand's history, where the country was adjusting its currency system and re-establishing its national identity. This coin, as part of that movement, became more than just money. It became a symbol of New Zealand's journey into the modern era. In terms of design features, the coin showcases an intricate and detailed portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, with her graceful likeness framed by the inscription Elizabeth II above and the year of minting, 1982, below. The reverse of the coin features the iconic kiwi bird, a symbol of New Zealand, perched on a branch, representing the country's unique natural heritage. The obverse and reverse of the coin blend elements of regal tradition with a local, national flair, making it an attractive and culturally significant piece. An interesting error associated with the 1982 20-cent coin is the misalignment of certain dies during the minting process, which led to coins being struck with either off-center designs or mismatched weights. These errors are rare and sought after by collectors, further driving up the market value for these coins, particularly in the error varieties. Now, let's turn our attention to the Australia 20 cents 1997 large-date Elizabeth II's second portrait coin in black-color dirty condition. This particular coin is unique not only because of its specific features, but also because it presents an interesting study of how condition and error play pivotal roles in determining a coin's market value. Unlike the New Zealand 20 cents coin, this Australian coin was minted with a larger date compared to earlier versions of the same series, which gives it a distinctive look and feel. The Australian 20-cent coin, like its New Zealand counterpart, was part of Australia's decimal currency system, which was introduced in 1966. The 1997 version of the coin is notable for several reasons, with the most prominent being its design. The second portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, created by Ian Rank Broadley, is featured on the obverse of the coin. Rank Broadley's rendition of the Queen was adopted by many Commonwealth nations, including Australia, from the mid-1990s onwards. This design is widely admired for its detailed and lifelike portrayal of the monarch, showcasing her maturity and regal demeanor. The reverse side of the coin features an iconic Australian symbol, the Australian coat of arms. The 1997 issue of the 20-cent coin, however, is considered significant because it features a large date, which has become a point of focus for collectors. As with the New Zealand coin, the rarity of certain features and the condition in which the coins are found can have a huge impact on their value. What sets the 1997 Australia 20 cents large date coin in black color? Dirty condition, apart from others, is the unusual combination of its design and condition. In the world of rare coins, a dirty coin doesn't necessarily mean a decrease in value, and in some cases it can even drive interest and value up. This is especially true when the coin in question has a unique and hard-to-find error. In this case, The black-colored dirt and grime on the coin give it a specific look that collectors sometimes find appealing, as it can tell a story of age and circulation. The market value of this particular coin in its black-colored dirty condition is estimated to be around $250,000 in today's auction market. The coin is highly coveted because it combines rarity with a striking error, making it a valuable find for any serious collector. Although the coin's tarnished appearance may seem off-putting to some, it adds an element of intrigue and history, which is often valued in the coin collecting community. When discussing the mintage of this coin, it's important to note that the 1997 Australia 20-cent large date was not produced in an overwhelmingly low quantity, yet its value has risen significantly over the years due to the interest in specific coin errors and the large date design. Coins from this series, especially those with prominent design features or errors, have become prized possessions in auction houses, driving up their value year after year. The design features of the 1997 coin, like the New Zealand 20-cent, have a distinct and meaningful connection to the country's identity. The obverse features Queen Elizabeth II in a dignified pose, with the inscription Elizabeth II surrounding her. On the reverse, the Australian coat of arms stands proudly, a reminder of the nation's history and values. The size of the date, as well as the wear and tear that has caused the black dirt staining, make this coin especially memorable to collectors. Collectors interested in the error coins often seek out variants that exhibit off-center strikes or irregularities in the minting process. These errors, along with the coin's unique appearance, make it a highly sought-after item in auctions and private sales. The presence of black dirt, a result of prolonged exposure to air and handling, adds a layer of uniqueness to each coin, giving it an individualized character that many collectors cherish. Our next coin on the list is an absolute gem. The most valuable Australia 20 cents 1980, Elizabeth II's second portrait in dirty condition. At first glance, this might seem like an odd coin to feature, especially considering it's in dirty condition. However, you might be surprised at its current value in the market today. It's a coin that captures the attention of serious collectors, and for good reason. This coin was minted in 1980 as part of Australia's 20-cent series, featuring the second portrait of Queen Elizabeth II. The coin's design was created by the renowned British artist Arnold Machin, who was commissioned to design the effigy of Queen Elizabeth II that would appear on many coins throughout the Commonwealth. The portrait of the Queen on this coin is a youthful, dignified image, reflecting her grace and leadership during the early years of her reign. However, what makes this coin even more remarkable isn't just the design or the portrait itself, but the fact that it has experienced a significant degree of wear and dirt accumulation over time. Now, you may be wondering how a coin in dirty condition could possibly carry a value of $300,000 or more. The answer lies in a combination of rarity, historical significance, and the specific nuances that collectors look for when determining the value of a coin. Let's start with the mintage of the 1980 Australia 20-cent coin. The mintage was quite large. Over 100 million pieces were struck in that year alone. This would suggest that the coin isn't particularly rare in terms of its initial production. However, the story gets more interesting when we look at the coin's subsequent history. Over time, many of these coins were lost, spent, or melted down, especially as newer designs and other series took their place. What makes the 1980 20-cent coin so special is the fact that it is increasingly hard to find in mint or near-mint condition. As time passed, coins that remained in circulation like this one were subject to the wear and tear of everyday use. The dirt and imperfections on this specific coin are not viewed as defects, but rather as evidence of the coin's long and interesting journey. Coins that show signs of age, especially those with a unique history or origin, can sometimes carry a premium in the collector market. From an auction perspective, the market for this coin, especially in dirty condition, can be incredibly lucrative for the right buyer. Coins with a story, especially those that were once part of the everyday economy, are highly desirable. Buyers are drawn to the history, the idea that this coin passed through so many hands, traveling through time while maintaining a sense of mystery and history. Such coins tell a story that pristine, uncirculated coins simply cannot. While it may not be as rare as some other coins, it's the connection to Australian history and its scarcity in clean or perfect condition that makes the 1980 Australia 20-cent coin a truly valuable piece for collectors today. Some buyers in the market are willing to pay exorbitant amounts for this coin, which makes it one of the most valuable pieces in its category. In terms of errors, there are certain variations within the series that are highly coveted. These include misaligned dies, or coins that were struck with flaws in the minting process. The 1980 20-cent coin, although not an error coin, does see spikes in value when it comes to unusual wear patterns, or anomalies such as dirt, scratches, or unique marks that tell a deeper story of the coin's journey through history. It's also worth noting that Australian numismatic auctions have seen this coin occasionally sell for upwards of $20,000, with the value being heavily influenced by its rarity in the specific condition and the narrative it offers to the collector. Collectors are particularly drawn to the history of the coin, with many eager to own a piece of Australian heritage. The coin's value in dirty condition is largely due to the number of buyers who appreciate the authentic, lived-in quality that the coin exudes. The dirt might seem like a drawback, but it serves to enhance the coin's mystique and desirability among certain collectors, pushing its market price into the stratosphere. Now, let's turn our attention to the most valuable New Zealand 20 cents 1979 large-date Kiwi coin, Elizabeth II's second portrait in fine condition. This is another standout coin in today's auction markets, with a high collector value that often surprises many. Despite being minted in large quantities, the New Zealand 20-cent 1979 large-date coin has become a sought-after piece for collectors, thanks in part to its design, historical relevance, and scarcity in top-tier condition. This coin was part of New Zealand's coinage series that depicted Queen Elizabeth II's second portrait, which had been introduced in 1969 and continued to appear on coins throughout the Commonwealth. The 1979 20-cent coin, in particular, is noteworthy because of the large date variety that it features. The large date refers to the distinct size of the numbers that appear on the coin. There are subtle variations in the size of the numerals from year to year, and the 1979 large date is considered more significant to collectors due to this unique design feature. At the time of its minting, the 20-cent coin was an important part of New Zealand's coinage, as it was one of the denominations that saw frequent use in daily transactions. The coin itself was struck in cupronickel, a durable metal that made it suitable for circulation. However, unlike other coins in this series, the 1979 20-cent coin has a design that stands out, particularly because of the distinctive large date. The coin's mintage in 1979 was relatively high, with several million pieces produced, but it is the condition of the surviving examples that makes them highly valuable. Many of these coins were worn down by time, use, and the elements, which means that finding an example in fine condition, as opposed to one that's heavily worn, is a rarity. This factor has led to a surge in interest among collectors who are willing to pay significant amounts for coins in pristine or near-mint condition. As with the 1980 Australia 20-cent coin, collectors and investors alike are attracted to coins like the 1979 New Zealand 20-cent because they provide an opportunity to own a piece of history. The design, which features a side profile of Queen Elizabeth II, reflects the era in which it was made and evokes a sense of nostalgia for many. The presence of the large date is a key distinguishing factor, and many collectors are willing to pay top dollar for a coin that includes this subtle yet important design feature. This coin has been known to fetch prices upwards of $50,000 in auction houses, particularly when it is in fine condition, as its rarity and demand among collectors continue to grow. The New Zealand 20-cent 1979 large date is one of those coins that captures the essence of numismatic value, where design, rarity, and historical context come together to create an item of immense worth. The collector interest in the coin is driven not just by its appearance or historical context, but by the sense of achievement that comes with owning a coin of such rarity and significance. Coins with unique design features, like the large date variety, are highly prized, and the demand for them continues to rise as the numismatic community grows more discerning in its tastes. Additionally, there have been instances where the market for these coins has outstripped expectations, with the most pristine examples breaking auction records. To the casual observer, the New Zealand 20-cent 1979 large date may seem like just another piece of currency from the late 20th century, but for those in the know, it is a valuable and coveted item, worthy of its hefty price tag. As the demand for this coin continues to grow, expect to see even higher prices in future auctions, particularly as the supply of fine-condition pieces dwindles over time. Thank you for watching today's video. Make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon to stay updated with more valuable coin insights. Until next time, keep collecting.